Hi guys! I'm gonna be stitching today with you lazy daisies, and I'm gonna be doing this lavender. So for lavender I'm gonna use these varied threads, and I'm gonna choose the color from dark to light. So I want that my thread color would change from here to here, and light part is here and darker part is here. I will probably cut here. So now I have this piece of thread. See, from the light to dark. I see that lazy daisies are pretty small here, so I can use not all the 6 strands of flax, but I'm gonna use less strands. So I'm gonna use probably 3 strands or 4 strands here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 3 strands. Lazy daisy is a simple stitch, and I usually like to stitch it without any hoop stand. If I have some small traditional round shape hoop, so I can help with my left hand. So the point is that you need to make a loop. I come up, I came up, and I came down almost in the same place here, and I created a loop, and I keep this loop with my left hand just for security. And now I will go through this loop. I came up here where I want to place this stitch, and I tighten the thread a little bit, and not too much. I usually keep this thread using my left hand and finger here in the direction where I need to place it, and I go outside of this loop, and this teeny stitch fixes this stitch, so the stitch is completed and I can start doing another one. So this is pretty simple, and it creates cute details, because if you are stitching using only satin stitch and only outline stitches, you cannot create such details like this, and it looks natural. Teeny flowers, teeny leaves, you know, it looks pretty natural. So see, the color of the thread is changed, and there is a darker shade later will show up, so it's going to be pretty interesting effect. You can also use multicolored thread if you have, which looks like similar like lavender, maybe some blue shades or purple ones. They're also gonna look great. When you are doing lazy daisies, your stitches cannot lay perfectly, but you can always fix it anytime with your needle, like this. especially if you tight it too much. So it doesn't matter where you start, you can start from the top as I did, from the lightest shade, or you can start from the bottom part using the darker shade and move to the top, and the color will be changed to the light shade. But I like to start from the top. Especially you can do an interesting effect when you are laying down your next lazy daisy like on top of your previous ones, so it's gonna look like more naturally, like petals are laying down on the top and it looks like they are like on the front. And as you noticed, I like to do the central petal first, and then I do the petal on the left side and one petal on the right side. See, sometimes your loop can be twisted, so you need to keep it with your hand so it's not going to be twisted, because if you will go through the loop which is twisted, it's gonna give you another look, so it's not going to be like a properly looking lazy daisy. And lazy daisy stitch looks nice even if you are washing your work, so it's gonna look nice anyway. After washing, all the stitches gonna lay down perfectly, so you can stitch it on your clothing, maybe on t-shirts and stuff like that. And voila, you just did lavender flower. Let's make another one. Let's probably do lazy daisies. I probably will do this blue color like this, and I'm gonna use all 6 strands because the lazy daisies are actually big. There are smaller lazy daisies and I was able to do it, and it looks perfectly with 3 strands only. But those lazy daisies, they're bigger, much bigger than those ones, so I'm gonna use 6 strands of floss. And maybe I'm gonna need a bigger needle, because for 6 strands of floss we need bigger needles with the bigger eyes. Okay, I have a knot here. Okay, now I will jump to my next flower. I usually jump if I have only little distance. If the distance is going to be bigger, so I prefer to finish my thread here and start in another place. Let's make the center of the flower maybe orange. No, it's too bright. Maybe this yellow. Yeah, it looks much better. I like French knots. I did entire sampler page with French knots only, and there are different objects like clouds, trees, bushes, sheep, and tiny flowers, and all of them done by French knots only. It was a fun project, but it took me a lot of time to complete because there are a lot of French knots. if you have a project where you will do a lot of French knots, you will probably need some hoop stands, so it's comfortable to do all those French knots with a hoop stand, so you have both hands free. See, all my hands are free and I can control the thread using my left hand, so nothing critical happens. But even me, sometimes I have unwanted knots, and my thread can be messy because sometimes I'm lazy to change the thread and I use too long thread, and that's why I have knots sometimes. So it happens. But that's okay, you can just fix it and go forward and make another knot. When I saw those French knots for the first time, I was like, I couldn't wait to try. I tried and nothing scary happened. I just did a French knot. I learned how to do it. I was watching a lot of video tutorials and I was trying different ways. And yeah, you can cheat if you still don't like French knots and don't want to make them. You can stitch a little beads here instead of French knots. And you can also do a colonial French knot, like, I don't remember how it was, maybe this way. So it was like wrapping the needle in different directions, and some people say that this kind of French knot is better. So maybe this way and this way, and let's make teeny leaves. I have those light multicolored threads. I don't know if it's suitable here, if it's going to be too light maybe, but it looks so interesting. Yeah, probably I'm gonna use a little bit of those threads just for leaves, and for the stem I'm gonna use a darker shade. And these interesting threads for the leaves. I'm gonna use 3 strands right now. And you can choose any kind of outline stitches. So probably I'm gonna go with back stitch. And the other option can be a whipped back stitch. Maybe let's do whipped back stitch here, right? And now I'm just whipping this every stitch that I did. I do just on the top, and here you need to be careful because you can accidentally split these near stitches. It can be hard to go through the fabric, especially through this kind of fabric when you are stitching with all 6 strands. So you need to find the big needle with a big eye, which creates a big enough hole in the fabric, so you will be able to go through this fabric together with your threads. And if your entire projects should be stitched using only 6 strands of floss, maybe find another type of fabric. Another type of fabric will help. It can be a linen like this. See, the holes in this fabric is big enough, and it's going to be much easier to go through it with all 6 strands. Or maybe it can be some swagger fabric like this. It usually uses for counted cross stitch, but you can also stitch with using hand embroidery like this with this fabric. So all of them are really good, especially linen. That's it. Looks cute. And I think it's enough for today. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye guys!